closet, and I think I believe on episode 1 she you know what? No, that's episode 2. So I'll hold on. But she wasn't so forthcoming with herself in the beginning. You know what I mean? So Holiday though, you said something earlier about Cooper, and I don't want to misquote you, but you said something that sounded like Cooper was the fuck boy or Cooper was the sucker or something like that when you first spoke. Something like that, right? And I don't particularly think Cooper. I think Cooper was he was a straight-laced dude. She came from a past.
I didn't call him a sucker. I said he's the good guy, the guy that girls should go for.
Mm-hmm.
And we can take from Brad and turn him into the freak nasty part about Brad that we love so much.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all it was. Other than that, we don't want all of Brad. We just want parts of him.
The only reason, let's be clear on something. The only reason Billy wanted to settle down with Cooper was because she was tired of being messed over by the bad guy. The irony of it all.
She settled down with Cooper because for several reasons. One, he provided stability, which is what she always wanted from Brad. He was sexy as fuck. He was attractive. Cooper was. I mean, Brad wasn't the only one that was fine as fuck. Cooper was sexy as shit. And thirdly, he wanted a family just like she always wanted with Brad, but he never wanted those things. So now here you have Brad, you wanting Brad for all the wrong reasons, because the only reason you're really sticking around is because he's fucking you good. Because he's not giving you any of the other 3 major things that you want.
Got you. Hold on, Holly. Let me get it from Raven, and then I'm gonna share it in the room. You guys could jump in, please. Feel free. This isn't one of those rooms where we're gonna go in order. If you have something to say and somebody says something, we'll respectfully go to you or go to the other person that's fighting for the floor. You know what I mean? So tap in with me, Raven.
So I'm not gonna go too far into kind of not combating, but kind of being the devil's advocate of what Holiday was saying, because it'll go into more episodes. But my question is, why was Brad the bad guy? Because he's not living the same exact life that Cooper's living? In my head and in my eyes.
No.
Hold on, wait 1 minute, Holiday. So I don't think Brad was a bad guy. Let's look at the time that they met each other. For one, he's a recording artist. There's a lot of stuff.
He manages. He was a record label owner.
Yeah, he was in he was living a whole different lifestyle. But one thing I can say, he was there for Billy. He was there for Billy, though he may not.
But was he?
Are we jumping ahead?
He was though.
No.
Yes,
but was he?
He had his problem. He had his mistakes. Walking out.
We'll get there. I don't want to ruin it for the listeners, and
I'm not gonna ruin it for them. But he did. He did do some little fuckery shit throughout their relationship. But at the end of the day, he just lived a different lifestyle. So he wasn't really a bad. I wouldn't call him a bad guy.
All right. So the reason why I think in episode 1, why I'm perceiving him as a bad guy, is because we're learning in episode 1 that that Cooper was the investment banker. Billy saw that other people was into Cooper. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Billy saw that Cooper was a more straight-laced type of dude. And if we're even comparing the past, her flashbacks to her current state of being, she met Brad at a time where she was being promiscuous, and she met Cooper right at the wit's end of that. I'm sorry, excuse me. Right at the wit's end of that, which means, that's I think 6 weeks or 5 weeks after her and Brad broke up, she ended up meeting Cooper. So that's
it was 30 days. 30 days from the date.
There you go. So that was the defining point from her and her past to her and her future. So Brad is the silver line that separates Billy's past to her present. Right? So that's why I think, and plus too, the way they dress Billy up, the wardrobe department, they put him in the motorcycle jacket. Throughout the season, we'll find out that he always wore the motorcycle jacket. He needs to retire that motorcycle jacket. We find out that Billy, I think it's in episode 1, correct me if I'm wrong, so that I don't get ahead of myself. We find out that Billy is a psych major, and when she's riding in the car with him, she actually says, "Hey, I'm a psych major," and he says something like, let me stop talking because you're gonna profile me." And then she ends up profiling her. She ends up profiling him and goes, well, your rings tells me this. So you either have mother issues or daddy issues. But if I'm a smart, educated woman, and I'm guessing, not quote unquote, but it was something like that, she was like, I would think that it's daddy issues. And he switched the subject. So that tells me that I'm saying all these things to say, hey, it might be something there. We'll learn in later episodes whether or not he had daddy issues or not. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But I think Stacey had came off mute, sis.
I did. I want to say something. So everyone was saying earlier that Billy should have, came clean and told her husband how she felt.
Mm-hmm.
But mind you, this is 8 years, at least 8 years into their relationship, because this is when she's fantasizing about Brad. It was 8 years ago. So
8 years.
It was 8 years had gone by. So the opportunity had passed. She should have been, when you get to know somebody, you say, oh, when you start dating someone, you start asking questions about, the things they like, what you like to do, how you like it in the bedroom, things of that nature. That was her opportunity to come and say, look, I'm a freak. I like to do this. I like to do that, yada, yada, yada. And she didn't.
And she didn't.
She presented herself. No, she did not. She presented herself as, that's what the representative word keeps coming up, as this other girl. So that I'm loving your little sound drops. she presented herself as this, upstanding woman to get Cooper to marry her. Now, I think it was in episode 1 where she talked about after her and Cooper got together, they went to dinner with her mom, and her mom kept throwing shade. She's like, oh, what do you see in her? You like her?
No, I think that no. That's episode 3.
Was that season?
That's episode 3. It's okay. It's okay. I know.
So I went ahead. I apologize.
No. Trust me, it's perfectly fine. We all going to do it at some point. We're mixing it all together.
Yeah, I binge watched it, so I can't tell you what happened in episode 1 versus episode 8. So I don't know, but I do know that everyone, if you say that Billy should have told her husband how she truly felt, yeah, come clean and say, hey, I'm not happy right now. But she can't go all the way back 8 years ago and say, hey, this is how I like it in the bedroom. But for 8 years, he's been doing it his way. Well, you can't change him.
Let me ask you something, Stacey, but everybody feel free to answer as well. Okay, so representative. She was leading. I think also she stated something about I wanted to say something. I wanted to say how I felt, but you know what? I decided to keep my mouth shut. So my question to you guys is, and before we jump into episode 2, is do you guys think that, to your point, Stacey, hey, she didn't say something when she should have said something earlier on? She introduced him to the representative, got him in the mix with the representative. I just want to say, to be honest and frank, I feel like it was manipulative because she knows she had all these bad experiences, so she decided to lead with the best representative. Cool. Do you guys feel that? All right, I'm trying to figure out the best way of wording this. All right, so here we go. Do you guys feel that she was manipulative, or that at some point in time throughout that 8 years, she should have shared with him her past more sooner than later? If it was year 4, 5, 6, before the craziness ensued and she started to daydream about good old Brad.
I don't
So
need.
yes,
Yeah, I don't need every detail of your past, but I mean, don't show me the person you think I want to be with. Show me who you are for real, for real.
Say
and
that.
that's TJ. That's the representative. So I was gonna say. So remind you, she was hurt by Brad, and she met Cooper 30 days later. She wasn't healed, so she pretended to be a healed person so she can be in this man's life because he was a breath of fresh
Yes.
air compared to what she had in the
Go.
past.
Go. You better
Brad
speak.
Brad was, like everybody said, quote unquote, the bad boy, but I'm not gonna get to, like somebody said he was a toxic boyfriend. He was toxic. So if he was toxic and Brad is this breath of fresh air, I'm gonna be exactly who Brad wants me to be because I want that breath of fresh air and I don't want to lose it.
That
And
Cooper
so that's
wants her
where
to be.
Cooper, I'm sorry, you're
It's
right,
okay.
Cooper. I mixed names. I apologize. Who her husband wants
So,
her to be.
so why?
So if
So she
mhm.
had to be in a relationship. Why not take that time and heal? Why?
Because she came across a good thing. She didn't want to waste her opportunity. That's what I think.
Bingo,
But that's
bingo, that's exactly it.
and that be the problem. Y'all women be broken, and then y'all try to get into these
Whoa, whoa,
relationships.
whoa, whoa.
Okay, I'm
Sir,
Not
we're
this
talking about
women.
Hold
healing.
on,
I'm
What
gonna
are
T.
you
chill. I'm
telling
gonna
us?
chill. I'm
Oh
gonna
no, no,
chill.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
chill.
no, no,
I'll
no.
chill.
I want you to stay there though, TJ. Hold on, stay with me right there. I just have a question, right? So what happens if you just came, God forbid, TJ, I'm talking about you. If you just came out of a situation and Shorty did you wrong and you're tired of these F girls messing you around, and for whatever reason or another, you find somebody and she seems to be the right person. Just put yourself in her shoes is what I'm asking you to. What would TJ do?
I don't think I'd want to force myself into another situation.
Okay, I can respect that. There's no wrong or
So
right
would you
answer.
so TJ, I have a question for you. Would you
Yeah,
expect this amazing woman to wait for you while you healed, or would you move forward and continue to date her?
I know that's right, girl.
but if ask that again, go again.
Would you, if you were fresh out of a situation, a marriage or a long-term relationship that was toxic, and you ran into someone that was amazing, that met everything that you ever wanted in a woman, but you're not healed, would you expect this woman to wait for you while you heal, or would you continue to pursue her?
I'm going to be honest and communicate with that woman. If I want to keep her around, I'm going to tell her exactly what I need to tell her. It's like, I just got out of a situation. It was a fucked up situation. I'm not ready for a relationship yet, but I fucks with you
I
as a
can
person,
respect that.
and yeah,
So would you want her to not date other people? Because what if she run across somebody that's amazing while you're still healing?
shit, that's my fault. I can't.
Bingo.
Yep.
So
I
you're not
Yeah,
gonna let her go.
I can't
That's
tell her
that's
to
what
fucking. Yeah, I can't tell her to sit here and wait for me.
Hey Stacy, I'm not gonna hold you, sis. I respect that because you know if you just got out of a situation, you lay your cards on the table and say, "Hey, listen, sis. Hey, listen, sis. I just came out of something tumultuous, and I don't want to rush into something now. Either the chick that TJ is now thinking is low key could be the one." He laid his cards out on the table with her, and God forbid she ends up being the Billy. It's not fair for him if she doesn't do the same and say, hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold you, because in the effort to build a different type of bond, lay your cards on the table and say, hey, I was outside. However you choose to word it. Broadway isn't gonna say it the best way because I'm not a woman. I don't know how women talk. But be like, yo, I was outside. I was doing X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be. I got a little low key rep in these certain sectors, but I'm tapping in with you. I appreciate you being the man that you are, and I'm willing to be patient with you and wait and see where things go, and respectfully to TJ's point, if she ends up finding somebody else, hey. It is what it is. He laid his cards on the table. He knows the rules of engagement. And if she finds somebody else, so be it. She finds somebody else. But he laid his cards on the table, and she can say anything, but she won't say that he lied to her about Jack.
Yeah, and
you're absolutely correct.
yeah, and I'm gonna be exactly who I am. So I mean, if you see me as fit to keep around, then yeah. But I mean, if I'm not what you want, and you're not willing to wait, I can't hold that against you.
Shout out to Kenya. Shout out to Leslie tapping in. I see y'all. I see Shantae down there. I see Juan. I see Sean. If you guys want to pull up and join, feel free. The moderators will bring y'all up. We just talking about sex life recap part 1. We're doing episode 1 through 3. Next Wednesday we'll do 4 through 6, followed by the following Wednesday, which is 7 through 8. So yeah, we just recapping episode 1. TJ, Stacy, you know, they going in. I mean, Live on Broadway podcast. Tap in with us.
So I'll say this. I strongly believe that healing requires solitude. And if you are healing, then you should not be dating. Even having someone on the side as a friend, because, you know, even she waiting for you. You can't get to know this person if you're still trying to rebuild yourself. That's all I have to say.
All right. I just want to say this. We're being very careful to not enter uncharted territory. So we're on episode 1. Once we enter episode 2, feel free to go back and talk about episode 1 if you guys feel a need to do so. I just don't want us to jump ahead and talk about episode 6, 7, and 8, and we're only on episode 1. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that. I just wanted to put that poignant caveat out there.
And this is a common. I'm not gonna say it's a common theme for women. I'm not gonna generalize y'all like that. But it always seems like y'all don't quite get through what y'all went through before y'all get into something new. Why is that?
That's a good question. Cause you guys,
I did not. I waited 15 months after being in the marriage, so I can't answer that question. I'm still not in a relationship, so
I can agree with Stacy. I waited. I don't think that you should generalize that, TJ. I think that's a human thing.
I said I wasn't gonna generalize it.
No, my love, it's a human thing. We cool. We still
I
cool.
I could
still love
speak
you,
on
Ray.
it, TJ. I could speak
tap
on it.
in, Rave.
I didn't wait. I didn't wait. And some women we don't wait. And you know why we don't wait? We don't wait is because we're trying to fill a void. And that's our problem. And I'm speaking amongst experience. And it takes a lot. And you guys are all right. You shouldn't jump into a relationship if you haven't self-healed, because you can't give your all to somebody if you can't give your all to yourself. But sometimes women, speaking from experience, we try to fill a void, something that we're missing. We try to fill that with another relationship, and that's where we go wrong, because we don't take the time to get to know ourselves, to see where we messed up in the relationship, because it's not just one-sided.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that we need to heal from, and it comes from even childhood experiences. We jump into relationships trying to fill the void that our daddy couldn't fill in our childhood, right? Or some type of void. And we jump into these relationships where we just need to self-heal altogether. It doesn't even have to just be off of a relationship. But we try to fill that void, and it never works out for us in the end until we fill it within ourselves.
Okay. I think Kenya disappeared. I think she stepped out. I was gonna go to her and get her her energy on it. Just BTW. Whenever a new person steps in, respectfully, if we have somebody that wanted to speak next, if it's okay, I just want to bypass you and go to the new person, because you know, we're all sharing our thoughts and opinions, and when new people tap in, I want to get it from them respectfully. Yeah, no, but I'm rolling. I don't think you guys lied yet. I think that I think men and women, you know, as I've discovered by way of doing a relationship-esque podcast, that men have a certain mindset as it pertains to a certain jush, and women the same. I think that it's motivated by way of what women have to deal with on a day-to-day, and what men have to deal with on a day-to-day. Doesn't mean women are wrong, doesn't mean that men are wrong. It just means that we see things a bit obtuse and through each other's eyes, because respectfully, I'm not a woman. She's not a man. So how can you expect me to wholeheartedly empathize? I can only understand and perhaps do my best to relate. So my question is this, guys, right? How many women in here, before we go into episode 2, would kill to be in Billy's situation? I mean,
You said
one?
would kill to
would
be in her situation?
would kill to be in Billy's
Hell
situation. Would
no.
kill to be in.
Which one?
Hold on. Right. That's what I'm about to say. Would kill to be in Billy's situation because Billy had, shout out to Shantae, would kill to be in Billy's situation because Billy came from something tumultuous, right? And I was speaking with somebody earlier and we was having a good conversation and it went something along the lines of she came from something tumultuous. So she was born with, well, let's just put it like this. She was dealing with, she was being promiscuous. So she was dealing with some type of trauma and then, she was dealing with her life as she knows it. So then she came into something else and then she ended up experiencing something with Brad to only find out, hey, this isn't familiar to me. This is almost like a culture shock. The example I would give you guys is somebody that's born with the silver spoon in their mouth, and then they witness molestation, shootouts, robberies, and all these different things, only to have that their new now. I would be remiss if I didn't think that they would want what they once had. So with Billy came from that situation where she was living in a life where she was being very promiscuous, having her back blown out, respectfully, and being outside with this guy, that guy, and another. And she's a woman; she can do what she want to do. But now she had a different turn of leaves, and what we find out is that now she wants that old thing back. So, my question to you guys is: how many women, respectfully, would kill to be in Billy's situation, the house with the picket fence, the good guy, the kids, and just, that happily ever after isk lifestyle? Everybody don't speak at one time.
So, I wouldn't say I would kill for that situation. I've been in a marriage, and I do have 2 children actually.
Okay.
I did work though. I didn't. Thank you. I didn't have the privilege to stay home and raise those children without having to go to work every day. So I can see that. Do I want to have the stay at home mom type vibe? No, I don't. I don't want that lifestyle because it gets lonely. And hence where they was married 8 years and the 2 babies came and now she's bored in her marriage thinking about her ex.
Got
So no,
it.
I wouldn't want it.
Okay. Ladies, let me get it from Gigi. I see Gigi's just oh, excuse me. Hold on, Gigi, 1 second. I see Shantae in here, and we're gonna go to Gigi after that. Tap in with a Shantae. Before we conclude episode 1 and move on to episode 2, what's been your energy on this dialogue, how I would say? Okay. She's probably just listening in. Gigi, tap in with me, Queen. Episode 1, sex life. What's your energy before we move on to episode 2, Queen?
Initially, I thought it started off really heavy. I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready, and then I wasn't.
I know that's right.
And then as I started watching it, a lot of questions actually came up to me. Just the idea of women and how they want to be able to have an outlet. And I thought like having a journal was something that was really private. And I'm not saying that you can't share that with your spouse, but I thought knowing that she wrote something and it was taken and kind of, I don't even want to say that I liked how he did it. Because at first I thought it was cute. Then it was a little disturbing. When it came to him reading her journal and how he went about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Although it seemed like a perfect marriage, you saw that there was already distrust happening right in the beginning.
Yeah. All right, so look, we're going to jump into episode 2, but I'll conclude with this last question for episode 1. Do you guys think that this was the first time that Cooper started reading Billy's journal? I want to go to Stacy.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I think it was. I don't think she journaled before. They didn't make it seem like she journaled in the past. This is something she just started doing just to get these thoughts out.
Go for it, Rave. I saw you was next.
No, I'm just saying, absolutely, it was his first time. It caught him by shock. I think he had some type of feeling, you know, how women have like that intuition. I think he had some type of gut feeling that something wasn't right, and that made him look. But I definitely think it was his first time, just off of his shock. And can we talk about his response, or am I going too far?
No. Go for it
I
because you
love
right
his
on time.
response.
You right on time.
Because his response to me, it kind of blew my mind. Like, I was expecting some anger. I mean, maybe I'm toxic, as TJ would call it.
Yeah.
TJ would call it. But his response was a little off to me. It was definitely a little off to me.
So wait, Raven, I'm gonna give you back the floor, right? But the response that she's talking about is when she came downstairs, she saw him reading the journal, and he grabbed her face and he kissed her. Wait, before he kissed her, he said, "Who are you?" He grabbed her face, he kissed her, and ripped her. I don't even know what that thing was. I'm tired of her wearing it throughout the whole season.
The moo-moo.
The-
We're gonna call it a moo-moo.
The moo-moo. Like, sis, you ain't got nothing more. You out here wanting him to dig your back out, put something on more sexy, respectfully. The fuck? You know, so I think that's what Raven was talking about, right, sis?
Yes, I was. And then he fucked her, and she wasn't even enjoying it.
No,
She thought she was.
that's in the